Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your gal Boulanger, and up next on the GM, do Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have the NFL scared? Do me a quick favor, hit like. If it is your first time checking out the GM, hit subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so that you get updates when we upload new content. Let's talk about it. You see, I've been sitting around. I was off this Friday, so I've been sitting around and I've been kind of looking at how things are laid out this Friday. I wanted to hear who people would pick. I wanted to hear the national sports shows talk a little bit. I typically don't watch the national sports shows. I always have to catch it on rerun or highlight. But I was able to watch most of them live. And what I noticed, I bet you noticed it too. What I noticed is that the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs did not lead off most of the shows. I watched and it was maybe buried in the second or third segments. I know, for example, on First Take, they got mentioned early in the show, but they didn't even have a real full-fledged segment until the second hour. That's very rare, especially when I've heard from these networks, both ESPN and Fox, that whoever plays the AFC Championship is actually playing the Super Bowl. So the question is, if that is what they're considering, then why were nobody talking about them leading off this morning? And I believe that it's because Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have the NFL scared. You see, I thought when I first saw this weekend schedule come out, I thought that maybe it was a mistake. So I looked again and it was still the same. What am I talking about? Well, the Baltimore Ravens have the 3 o'clock slot, right? And no matter who the other teams are, Mahomes and Jackson are the headliners for this weekend. So I thought it pretty strange that they would have the 3 o'clock spot and not the prime time spot. Another big time question mark. Okay. So that is how this week began. Okay. And then, in Ravens Nation, we found out, of course, with the rest of the NFL world, that, hey, Sean Smith, I believe I got his name right, the referee who has some controversy surrounding him, that he always seems to be in favor of the traveling team or the away team, that it seems like a home team that he referees has a disadvantage, that a road team wins at a 55% rate when he's refereeing. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything to it, but the NFL does assign these referees. I thought it a little strange. So not only did they not get the primetime spot, the headline game, they also got Sean Smith, the least favorable referee. Not that a referee should be favorable, he should be balanced. But he's less favorable for the home team? NFL, you got some questions to answer. And then when you come into this morning, and none of the major shows lead off with the Ravens. They're talking more about Detroit and San Francisco. Maybe the NFL said, hey, can y'all talk about the other game since the Ravens Chiefs are the headliner? Maybe that's what happened. You see, but all these major corporations are in league with one another. They're linked together. Nobody's really operating independent. ESPN, NFL, Fox, they're all operating together. ABC, NBC, they're all together. CBS. And so I think that they're a little to a lot afraid. Afraid of what, Boulanger? What are you trying to get to? They're afraid that Lamar Jackson, if he was given the primetime spot and he destroys the Kansas City Chiefs, he then becomes the face of the NFL. Not having won the Super Bowl yet, but if he beats the Kansas City Chiefs with a two-time MVP in Patrick Mahomes, a two-time Super Bowl winner, and a two-time Super Bowl MVP, if he beats him head to head and we pull away in the fourth quarter, Lamar Jackson becomes the face of the league, at least for a season. Especially when they thought, or they people have said that this game, Ravens Chiefs, is the essentially the Super Bowl. I just wonder. You guys know what we do here. We don't report news necessarily. We always do content for conversation, something to talk about, something to banter back and forth about. It's just a thought. But I thought it interesting that all of these things be playing out right here in front of us. So I'm just going to ask those questions. Does Lamar Jackson have the league afraid? Let me know what you guys want me to know, man. Stay tuned for some more content, man. We got about 5 more videos coming up between now and kickoff, man. So, man, I appreciate you guys for hanging with us. I'm out.